Great Burgundy doesn't have to be extremely expensive. You heard me right. And I have a producer that will show you that exactly right here, right now. We are talking about Berthaut-Gerbet. And we're talking about their fees, or what you might see as Fixin or Fixin. I might have gotten that wrong. Doesn't matter. This producer is lights out. Now, Berthaut-Gerbet is currently helmed by Amélie Berthaut. She took over in 2013 at the age of 25, and the wines were always well regarded. But her father made wines a little more austere, a little more robust, and with a little more punch to them. What she's done is taken her education where she worked in New Zealand and has wanted to make something more gentle, more elegant, but something that's still very fiche. So, what are we going to do? We're going to get right into them. Now, to start off, we have the only white they make, which is the Champ de Charme. I might have gotten that wrong. Doesn't really matter. There isn't much Chardonnay made in this area, but when producers do something like that, it means they're probably doing something really good. And I cannot wait to give it this a try. There's this really lovely sort of orange blossom and apple, like red apple, but like a ripe red apple, um, with this nectarine vanilla, not marshmallowy, but like kind of like that, uh, coming through. Really elegant, really showing something that I think is very worthy, especially with the way that white Burgundy from the Cote de Beaune goes these days. That's so much more expensive. This is under $100, people. So you might be getting a really good deal. And we're going to give this a taste. Great acidity. And what a way to start off. Now, the 2023 vintage is supposed to be an absolute banger of vintage. So that's why I sourced these all. These are all going to be very young. The acidity, though, it cuts and it's sharp and it's mouth-watering. It is wonderful. It makes your mouth crave some acid and just crave food. And it's so soft but elegant on the palate, especially when you're seeing Peeling Montrachet and Chasson Montrachet, Premier Cruise, or even just Village wines going for upwards of $150, $200. And this has clocked me in, I think, around 60 to 70. I'll double check. You're talking about a screamer of a deal. And that's exactly what this is. And what a great, great way to get us going. Now, Peace is just north of Gevrey. And back in the 19th century, this was a town that was really well regarded. But over the years, they've kind of not faded into obscurity, but they've moved back a bit. To be fair, they don't have any Grand Crus. They have 5 Premier Crus. They have a bunch of Liu Dietz like this. We are now going to get into the Pinot Noirs, and we have the 2023 Peace. This is a blend of 5 or 6 different vineyards that they work with, all little tiny plots to make this beautiful village wine. And this is a wine that consistently for me has hit so well. This is usually floating around 60, $65. So when you think about it, right, you're able to get Burgundy at prices for less than some of the even single vineyards that you find in America. And I cannot wait to give this a taste. I am just so excited to give this vintage a try. This is a producer I've had in the past, so I kind of knew what I was getting into when I was putting this together. But her talent is just so immense that actually in 2018, when she was invited to the La Palais tasting, she actually turned it down. Not because she thought she was too good, she thought she wasn't good enough yet. Isn't that amazing? How humble is that? And she was only like 29 or 30 when she did that. And she said to herself, no, I'm not ready. That's a very, very serious tasting. And but what a way, right? To be recognized that young, to have really changed over the estate, and for her to get invited, that was already saying that she's doing some good stuff. That is just so pretty. It is just so pretty. I think I'm really surprised by that in a great way. These, again, to me, it's an area that has some brawn, a little heft to it. And it's funny how Gevrey can be still have that brawn and heft, but like with that elegance. She's taken that elegance and she's really bringing it out of the glass here with this beautiful red fruits, some violet, some earthy notes, a touch of leather, and this like sort of dark raspberry, but it's ripe in the sense that there's fruit there, but you're not questioning where this is from. This is clearly Burgundy. And again, this is at a wonderful price that I think competes with everything from the New World, and this absolutely kills it when you're dealing with Burgundy. We are now going to taste this. Real lovely. Really, really lovely. The youth of the wine is certainly coming through. It's a little slightly hollow on the mid palate, but that doesn't, I can see that fleshing out. This, the tans are there, but they're really nice and rounded. This shows off its level, but I can also tell you unequivocally, And this is competing with so many wines. I have spent way more on Burgundy for a lot less, and I am so happy with that. We are 2 for 2, and we are now getting into the specific single vineyards, and I cannot wait to do this. Now, these next two are kind of two of their top wines as far as the village level wines go. Uh, the Le Clos and the Le Cray have been in the family since the late 1800s. This specifically is about 1.3 hectares, so not a big plot. Again, it's Burgundy, so there's not always a lot going on. But this is one of the top vineyards in Fils, and I'm really looking forward to this. We've already had two great wines, and we're about to hopefully get into something really beautiful. Mm. It's a little tight. It's a little tight, but there's something so there. And the fruits go more into the dark red and almost black category, but without being stewed, without being too rich. There's this sort of slight sarsaparilla flavor, these ripe dark red cherries, like sort of a black raspberry, but licorice, but not like it's not overripe. Like again, this is still clearly Burgundy. I wouldn't confuse this for anything else. Uh, but again, it's a little tight. It's just a little tight. I have to say, if you have any kids or anniversaries or nieces and nephews born in 2023, this is a perfect one to lay down. It's going to need that. I think it's really going to need that. It's everything is there for a great wine. It's just not entirely showing it at this exact moment, if that makes sense. But the feel on the palate, you can't fake that. That's great, great winemaking. That's a great site. It comes together so beautifully with a silk, the level of stature. Those tannins, they have some grip. This is Pinot Noir, so it's not like we're not dealing with like Cabernet or Syrah or Nebbiolo tannins. But these have a little to them, and they're letting you know that they're present at the same time. I'm a really fan of this. Again, it's not entirely showing huge right now, but that grip, that mouthfeel, I can imagine in like 2034 that this is just going to be an absolute knockout, and really again showing you why this producer is so sought after and also why these bring so much value. Hey, that's what I'm here for. I want to bring all these delicious burgundies to you that you don't have to break the bank for. Now our final wine is the Feast de Le Cray, right next to the Le Clos vineyard. But the Le Cray actually more, it doesn't mean uh, chalk in the way that it normally does around France. I guess what it's more is an old term for the alluvial soils that has very specific soils. And that's one of those fun things about Burgundy is you can get so many changes all over the map, coming from north to south and then just even within the vineyards themselves. And this is another vineyard that is effectively a monopole for them. And this has also been in their possession for a long time. And it's been a minute since I've had one of these, so I cannot wait to try it. I wish I could share these with you guys right now, and you could just get that massive difference in the noses in a side by side. There's more lift to this. There's more perfume, a little more violet and purpleness to both the florals and the fruits. The cherry's a little more red. It's not bright, like it's still hitting like a little more bass notes. But I just love putting these two side by side, and just shows you that you're dealing with like really barely a walk between the two, and these are two vastly different wines. And this is so expressive. This is really, really pretty. Really, really pretty, and I cannot wait to taste it. What's wild with that is just how smooth and rounded the tannins are compared to the Lake Low. It's almost like a brother sister type thing in that, yeah, the Lake Low, it's got that stature, it's got that brawn. And I mean, I wouldn't really call this feminine, but it's really elegant and refined. I think it's, yeah, leaning more into the refined style. It's really, really pretty. It's really, really worth cellaring. I can only imagine where this would go with time. And I hope you guys really love this. Seriously, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And let me know, have you had Berthaut-Gerbet? And are you looking for Burgundies that are under $100? I love Burgundy. I cannot wait to give you guys more Burgundy. And hey, we're going to keep doing this. Cheers.